So, hi, Nikki.
Hello.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about a third-party fundraiser. So first of all, tell us what third-party fundraiser you organized and why did you decide to host one for WEVA?
Sure. Well, I co-hosted a musical bingo night for WEVA down at Cafe du Soleil, and my partner Melissa and I decided to host a fundraiser because we were educational outreach and there wasn't too many hours at that time, and we wanted to definitely show our support and just jump right in there. So we figured our first big project, we would try and host a gigantic fundraiser for the first time ever. It was very nerve-wracking, but it ended up working out really well. And so our idea for musical bingo came because I'd actually been to a music bingo night before, and it was a really fun thing to do. And I figured the best way to get people out and come and support a fundraiser was to have, a very structured but fun thing that was happening. And so I had a great time at music bingo. And so I thought we should have a playlist of, we called it Fierce Female Artists. So our playlist was all amazing female artists. And we just thought it went along with what we were trying to support, and it felt like a good plan. And we also wanted to plan something that we would want to come out to. Being in my mid-20s, I don't necessarily always want to go out to just a bar just to hang out. I want to go out and do something fun.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be a great way to get a lot of the women from WEVA involved, and a lot of my friends who also kind of feel the same about going out.
Yeah,
me, so.
yeah, that's such a brilliant idea. So what was your favorite part about the process?
I think my favorite part was at the end of the event, actually, once we realized how successful it was. The days leading up to the event were very, we were anxious and nervous about how it was going to turn out and who was going to show up. And even the night of, I was very stressed waiting for people to come and fill up the room. And once we got started and it was going and everyone was having a great time, I think right when Rachel Lark was playing, she came and played a great set at Cafe du Soleil in between two of our games. And I think right at that moment it was just so much fun. Everyone was loving Rachel Lark's music so much, and I was just like, yes, everything worked out. So I think that was my favorite part, actually, in the middle of it, realizing how much fun everyone was having.
Yeah. And just like when you're wrapping up, you're like, oh my gosh, I actually was able to do this. This
we
is
did
huge.
It. Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah. Did you face any challenges that you didn't necessarily foresee when you were organizing a third-party fundraiser?
I think Melissa and I were super lucky in that we found Cafe du Soleil, which was a super supportive venue that just really wanted to host us, and it was free. And all of the organizations that we contacted to get bingo prizes were super on board. Like the second we sent off emails, they really wanted to get involved. So I think we were super lucky in that aspect. But I think, the trickiest part, I think, was just time management. Making sure Melissa and I had both, our little to-do lists, and we were meeting deadlines and just making sure everything came together.
Yeah, definitely. So for anyone who may be thinking about hosting a third-party fundraiser, would you have any advice as to how to go about it or where to find inspirations or motivations?
I would say for anyone who's thinking about hosting a fundraiser, they should definitely host something that they're passionate about and something that they're excited to go to, and really make it your own. I had, a couple friends who were really awesome who actually asked if they could play at our fundraiser, but I just wanted to kind of keep it streamlined, and we had a very, very specific idea for what we wanted, and we didn't really want to throw something that we weren't quite sure about. So we wanted to keep it, our vision was very exact. So I would say, just follow your gut and do what you think will be fun and how you think most of your friends will come out, because that was a lot of our supporters at that event. It was friends of friends, wave of volunteers. So definitely try and do something that you're passionate about and something you think will get the crowd that you want out, for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely a huge part of doing that outreach is to simply just talk to as many people as possible to get them to come out to not only your event, but also to come and support a local organization, to support WAVA. So did you find that part to be too challenging, or was it helpful that you actually had a co-host?
It was definitely helpful having a co-host. It was a lot of work, and it actually ended up getting turned into a monthly event at the Astoria, which is happening no longer, but for about, I'd say 8 months, we were doing it monthly at the Astoria, and that's when it started to get very, very tiring, and it was hard to find time between work and self-care and relationships and everything to find time to do this, even though we were like super stoked on doing it every month. It was definitely it was hard.
I think that would you recommend to someone, if they can find even like a co-host or a group of people who would be willing to work on a fundraiser together?
Definitely.
Do you think that would be a successful strategy?
Yeah, definitely at least one other person, maybe two, and then just be, 2 people that are going to be committed, and then, Melissa and I met, we planned it in about, I think, 2 months, and we met, I think, almost every week, just to talk about what we had accomplished and what we still had to do, and we were both super supportive of each other, of time and what we could or couldn't do. And so if you have a small group or a partner who is on board with really putting in that time, then it's super worth it.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else that you would like to add or you want people to know about?
I would just say, even if you haven't thrown an event before, neither had Melissa and I, and we were just so surprised at the turnout and how much we raised, and how many organizations like Women's Wear were super generous about donating prizes. Wow. We had monthly donors after that event from Women's Wear, and the Rio Grandview Lanes donated, and it was just really great. So if you think that you might not be able to do it, I would definitely encourage everyone to just try it, because you might surprise yourself.
I guess the probably most challenging part is to come up with the idea. And I think that everything else kind of works out in the end.
Definitely.
Okay, well, thank you so much for hosting one of the most fun, creative third-party fundraisers at WAVA.
Thanks.
And thank you.